Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stargate to Source. My name is Hara Katsiki, and I'm, like always, with my dearest friend and colleague, Priscilla Lois. Hi, Priscilla.
Hey, Hara. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too. I'm very excited about our today's topic. So today we would like to get into the subject of Gaia, of Mother Earth, and going into a little bit more depth into the connection we have with our planet and why and how we can be assisted by our Mother at this challenging, especially now in these challenging times that we are all going through. And we have a lot of nice also clips to share. Priscilla has prepared also some very nice session recordings, some little audio clips to share with us, and everything else that will come up spontaneously. So, Priscilla, would you like to start by sharing with us your perspective on this subject?
Well, Hara, I think it is nice, the topic that we chose today, getting back to nature, getting grounded. I feel like all of us are in this state of confusion right now where our minds are everywhere but grounded. Our minds are racing to places with regards to, events that are currently happening. And it's time to just, let's come back to the center. Let's come back to ourselves. Let's find that inner peace and just relax again into Mother Earth, into her nature, so we can neutralize that stress that our bodies are feeling right now, because that's what she does. She grounds us, she neutralizes our energy. If you think that your electronics in the wall need grounding, so do you. Otherwise, things just spiral out of control, and you may not even be aware of it or understand the why. But a simple technique of just grounding can make all the difference in the world.
I love what you said, especially the word you use, neutralize. It gave me goosebumps. And somehow we all know it theoretically, but how much do we really apply it in our lives? Especially for us who are, you and I are based in a city, and it's not always to be close to Earth, close to Gaia. But and as you were speaking, I just felt Earth, Gaia as an entity. Almost, I saw her in my inner vision, almost as if she's like opening up her arms and waiting for us. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, as if she's calling us to go back to her, to neutralize, as you said, to get energized, to get even to release all this pressure that it's being built up.
Definitely. You see, there's so many ways you can look at the benefits of nature. And we take ourselves, even when we're here in the city, we feel like we need to get out in fresh air and have that fresh air and potentially ground. But the thing is, even if we do go out and ground, we wear shoes and we're still insulated. And I've always grown up walking barefoot, and my feet are always dirty in a good way. I wash, but I love walking barefoot. And there is just nothing better than having that grass in between your feet and feeling that connection. I can remember when I'm not sure if it was you or Candace, but when she came to visit, the first thing she did was, after 7 hours of a flight, she came here, and the first thing she did is she went outside, took her shoes off, and just ground. And I think, wow, like, how many people would do that and not think you're crazy, right? That was just lovely to see that people actually, with an intention, go out and do that, to just ground your energy. And so I feel like, don't be afraid to take your shoes off. I think also we've come to this this belief that we need to protect ourselves from germs and nature and dirt, right? And we have forgotten that it actually builds up our immune system. Yeah. So every time you clean your hands, you're actually killing all the good bacteria on your hands. We need bacteria for our immune system to become stronger.
Yeah. Certainly. And I love how many scientists are slowly now beginning to come to that realization. And they talk about scientifically proving the benefits of connecting to the earth, and how many experiments they have done where they really see the health really changing just by the simple act of grounding. It's mind-blowing. And as I was saying we were discussing before we start recording, I mentioned transhumanism, which is something that our society seems like it's heading towards. There certainly seems to be a timeline where our society will move into, and those who will choose will go into that direction. We certainly see it now being implemented in many ways, with more and more digital, how to say, digitalization of our world, of ourselves, even, with like chips and all that crazy stuff. And there's nothing wrong with technology, right? We know that very well. We know that is a tool, and there are many advanced societies that they work with technology, but they know how to use it. And since we are like children right now, if you want, starting to play with such a powerful toy, quote unquote, technology, we need to learn how to transmute this energy and the side effects that it has. For example, we are in lockdown. All of us, I believe, most of us, not if all of us, we are all day in front of the screen. All this radiation, all this EMF, all these things being built up in our body, combined with the emotional, build up as we are suppressed and all, like also being influenced by our external world and what people go through and all that. And I was feeling as if Gaia is saying to us, come to me, let me take care of you, let me support you, let me assist you, let me hug you, let me ease your worries, your stress, let me heal you, let me take care of you. And she's giving us all we need, if you really think about it, right? All our needs are met if we just base our life on a natural way of life.
Absolutely. Our needs are always met. And everything we do and use, even technology, it may be a tool, but how much of a crutch is it? We end up relying on it. If you think about when I grew up, we had calculators, or you had to do it up here. Now people can't do sums in their heads anymore. They need a calculator. It's like we are stepping back from using our minds and allowing technology to become more and more of a crutch to make our life more and more easier. And the more we do that, we are actually losing ourselves. I have a clip from Barbara Masiniak that I'd like to, not a clip, a piece I'd like to read. And it starts out with a question. You stress the importance of being immersed in nature. What is happening to our psyches as we shift from a nature-based society to an electronically entrained one? Now, if you don't know Barbara Masiniak, she channels the Pleiadians, or the Pleiadians, whichever way you want to pronounce it, and they are in the star system called, or this known as the Seven Sisters. The Pleiadians call Earth the living library because this is where genetic codes and energy frequencies from cosmic sources are maintained and used to sustain us. along with everything in 3D reality. Through the system of nature, being immersed in nature balances the mind and replenishes those codes at every level. It refines and updates them and makes us better equipped to manage our lives as co-creators. The Pleiadians say that nature is a majestic program of energy, a force of consciousness that we must learn how to consciously interact with. However, in the last 250 years, the movement from the rural to city living through industrialization has cut us off from nature's renewal. Today, the new electronic technology further distances us from the experience of direct contact. Digital sound recordings mimic nature but don't convey the feelings of the natural world. And television has replaced genuine human interaction for many people. This movement away from nature cuts us off from the natural source of our own power and contributes to a growing sense of powerlessness in our lives, which the Pleiadians are here to warn us about. So a very interesting piece, and it resonates completely because that is exactly what you touched upon and what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, Barbara Marciniak has profound information. She has a book, I think it's called Earth, the Living Library, and she goes into much detail about this subject, and it's really profound, absolutely. And interestingly, I mean, these are star people, right? She's channeling the Pleiadians, like you said, and the same teachings are being given from our ancestors, from, for example, the Native Americans. They also talk, all their philosophy is based, and they were also guided by their star families, very connected to Mother Earth, very rooted, honoring, working with the earth, extremely intelligent and wise society, right? With so many gifted healers. I mean, still, if you are a healer, you are going back to these teachings to learn from them. And all their philosophy was based in our connection to Mother Earth and the true medicine that is a free gift from Earth to us. And we have turned our back away almost completely, not more and more, let's say, and I mean, it's interesting because the more we learn, the more we digest, the more we dive deeper into the quantum field and, learning more complicated concepts and all these, like, I feel for me as if there is like a counter, how you say, like energy pulling me towards the simplicity, going back to the basics, going back to the simplicity of the earth. For example, because when we talk about the earth, for me, when I talk about the earth, I'm also including the body of the earth, which, I mean, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and how much this incredible, beautiful system is always there to support us in many ways. And we have touched upon this on another video. I remember when we talked about animals being our greatest teachers. And I mean, there's just so much to it, and there's so much beauty. I was listening to this beautiful video that I shared with you a few days ago. We can maybe put it in the links below. And it was just a short clip inspired by a man who is connected to nature and what he discovered, what he found out. I love what he said. I love one quote he said. Many people think that walking upon the water is a miracle, but I realized that walking upon the earth is a miracle.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
We are all little miracles. Everything happening every single day is a little miracle. Me talking to you, using technology not as a crutch, but as a tool to connect is a little miracle. And the same with what we talked about, the benefits of grounding. So I use, for example, a grounding mat. Now, if I can't get outside, this grounding mat, and I've actually tested it because you said there's loads of technology, scientific evidence that grounding works. And this grounding mat, I went to a signal person who had all the like signaling equipment to test wires and all that. And he hooked me up and he tested my energy of my body while touching these little elements, and it all spiked up. And as soon as I got on the grounding mat, everything lowered to almost a zero.
Wow.
Proving for me and my physical mind and understanding that this actually works. So again, technology like that can be used as a benefit. So let's talk a bit about the benefits of being grounded. Like if we're not grounded, our body stores up so much stress. What health benefits can there be for grounding?
I think to start from the basics, I think what you were touching upon in the beginning, I think there is definitely, like always, when there's a connection, there is like a two-way transfer of information or energy. So in this case, when we connect to the earth, there is again this like two-way energy transfer. And I think what happens is that we can release what is out of balance, whether that is excess energy or maybe negative emotions, the stress, and this, and then receive from her the energy that is needed to bring our systems back into balance in all levels. I think this is something that, of course, like everything works in all levels. The energy transmission and transfer back and forth, I think it affects us in all the levels. It affects us, like I said, emotionally, because let's start from that, because I personally, when I'm in nature, I almost feel like as if I'm another person.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm carefree. I'm like a child again. I have no worries. I feel accepted. I feel supported. I just feel good. I just feel good. I feel playful. It's incredible what it does. And you don't even, and everybody's feeling it as long as they allow themselves to not be in the mind all the time and stay busy in their mind. But if you just stay quiet without even having to be spiritual or anything, you feel it, you feel good. You feel good. So it nurtures us, balancing our emotional system, our mental also system, quieting us, and again, I think it happens. That's also something that I really love, because you don't even have to understand it. You don't even have to conceptualize it, right? And analyzing it, like sitting in nature, you by yourself, sitting in nature. For example, you don't even have this like stress of being accepted. Nature accepts us just the way we are. And it's amazing to see that. And this is another great teaching from her, from nature and its system, because I've often come back to that, to say, do trees get sad in autumn when they lose their glamour, let's say, of the green leaves, and they are falling, and do they get sad? Or do the other trees that still have, some of them still have their leaves, criticize them and say, oh, you lost your leaves, you're not good enough or anything, No, there's just so much acceptance there, so much grace. And if we would just look at simple things like this, there's so much to learn.
Yeah, I'm also getting goosebumps as you talk about it, because just thinking about that concept, does a tree get sad, losing its leaves and its beauty? But, it's the rebirth thing. I need to shed everything that no longer serves me. I bloomed, I blossomed, I worked really hard to get here, but now it's time to rest and, come back to me. And then, because that's what the tree does, everything, all the energy goes back into the trunk, and that's why the leaves change and the leaves fall. And so, yeah, it's a great concept to think about the rebirth as well in nature, that even nature needs to rest to bloom again, and so do we. We are very much part of nature, if we believe it or not. We see ourselves as separate beings, but we are nature. We are the water. We are the oceans. Your body is 70% water. We are much physical and part of her, more so than we know, more so than we think about. And it's, once you lose something, that is when you really appreciate what you had. And often out of experience, I'm sure you know that we tend to regret when we lose it, or we don't appreciate it, and therefore we realize too late then it's gone. But the thing is, if I were to ask you, visualize, and we have this in some of our sessions, visualize a beautiful place, take yourself there. 99% of the time you'll be in nature. You'll be on a beach, you'll be in the forest, you'll be at a waterfall. That is where you're at home and you don't even realize it.
Yeah. And also how many times in our sessions, when people connect to their higher selves through our QHHT and BQ8 technique that we are both using, how many times does the higher self or the guides of people say, go back to nature, go back to earth? It's like 8 out of 10 sessions it will come up, even of just a very short reminder. As you were talking and we start to analyze and to talk about the benefits of being in nature, one thing that just came to me was something that many people are asking also in my work, because there are some common questions. One common question people ask, at least in my case, in my experience, is how can I amplify my psychic abilities, my psychic gifts? And again, I think nature is definitely a way to do that, to help us amplify our psychic gifts. Do you agree? Would you like to make any comment on it?
I muted myself. I'm asking for concepts to come to me as you speak about it, because I feel like if I were to be out in nature, just through intention, I can sit next to a tree and connect to it and feel, and this is a great way to practice, of course it is, and feel its energy. And through feeling its energy, go into a quiet meditation, just quiet the mind and wonder. People talk about wonder. The thing is, you shouldn't take yourself too seriously, and ask the tree a question and just wonder, just take your mind to what the answer could be. And because you're not taking yourself too seriously, and because you're not in the analytical mind, the answer will come to you. And you'll find the answers are simple, just in the sessions. Connect with me more. I am here for you as much as you are here for me. So yeah, I think we most definitely become more psychic. I feel like telepathic as well. I feel because you are listening. So that would definitely strengthen your telepathic abilities, is what's coming to me too.
Like animals. That's just exactly what comes into my mind now, animals that are absolutely connected with nature, follow their natural rhythms, and they are communicating it even from long distances with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. To think an elephant, when they walk, you don't hear their feet go plump, 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 right?
No?
Their feet, well, no, I don't think you do. Their feet have these massive cushions, so you don't really hear when they walk. But when their feet hit the ground, they actually send out a vibration. So that vibration gets sent out and it gets felt by the other elephants. So they know who it is through the walk and through the vibration of that. But I'm also thinking, like, animals don't speak. Surely there must be a telepathic connection there.
Sure. Yeah. Elephants are amazing. I mean, all animals, they're just incredible teachers. We've talked about that. It just came to me quickly to say, I don't know if people know this incident that happened when the tsunami hit in Thailand. The big one in Phuket area, around that area. I'm not sure exactly. I heard a story somewhere and it really blew my mind. The locals said that just before the tsunami hit, all the elephants that were close to the seashore, to the coastline, they started leaving the coastline and heading the opposite direction towards the mainland, going up to the mountains. Herds of them, just many of them just in a group, just running up to the mountains. And of course, the locals didn't know what's going on. Nothing was seemingly going wrong at that time. And one can think, knowing what happened, that they tried to excuse me. I made a mistake. When before the tsunami hit, from the mountains, they started running down to the coastline. Actually, not up. They were up in the jungles in the mainland, and before the tsunami hit, many started coming towards the water, towards the sea side, right? And now you will ask why? Exactly. So the reason why is mind-blowing, because when the tsunami hit, they all entered the water, and they start and to save the people who were drowning.
Wow.
And they started from. They had also like a hierarchy, if we can call it that, of the different types and groups of people they were assisting. So they started first. So when the tsunami hit, they had already arrived on time in the water. And with their, how is it called? Not nose.
Trunks.
Thank
trunks.
Yes. So first they started to save the pregnant women, then the children, then all the rest of the women, and then the men. So, I mean, it's there's not. What can you say? It's just incredible.
I saw that's an amazing story. I saw a quote the other day, and it said, we should stop being more human and start being more animal, because they're more empathic, they're more caring, actually. Let's be more animal.
Yeah.
We should be. We are animals in nature and we try and pretend we're not.
Yeah.
So that makes me think, and especially because you were talking about leaves, the trees losing their leaves earlier. I have a clip prepared about karma. So let's listen to that and see what karma means for the tree collective.
The trees are fine. The trees are doing their job. Send your love and blessings and gratitude constantly, as you would with everything else that Gaia offers us. But the trees are doing their job and they know what to do. The deforestation and this harming of the trees is because these are old karmic energies that the trees have stored and are being released by cutting down, burning, and purifying. It's almost like pockets of energy have gathered that need to be cleared, and that's occurring. There will be more harmonization of wildlife. There will be an increase in the wildlife on this planet because there needs to be more Gaia, there needs to be more earth beings to help balance out the energy of humanity.
Yes.
60% wildlife and nature, and the rest will be, the 40% will be Gaia and humanity. Sorry.
So does it mean that karma gets cleared through nature for us? That's an interesting thought.
It's a very good question. What I'm sensing is that nature doesn't necessarily create karma, but as a benevolent system supporting us, it can assist us in what we say clearing karma, because it of exactly that reason, because it is supporting us. So it is assisting us in releasing karma. Because what is a karma? What is karma? Karma is an action reaction, something that happened, that we did, and we learn a lesson.
But it's as if, because we aren't always doing things on this planet for the benefit of humankind and humanity, it's as if everyone else, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, it's as if they have to step up and say, oh, we have to do more work now because there needs to be this balance. So that's why I feel we're coming to a point where the scales are tipping. It's like the other aspects of Gaia cannot keep up with us.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very delicate balance.
Absolutely.
And the chain and like, again, karma is action reaction. So this system always will try to keep the balance, whatever that means for us. The same with how nature is reacting, with all these cataclysms and all these fires and the volcanoes erupting and all this crazy weather. This is, again, is not nature. I don't think it's nature taking revenge. Is nature reacting to how we treat her, what we do to the planet, and is trying to find the balance, right? If there are cataclysm, is because there needs to be, nature needs to hydrate itself to bring the balance. And of course, with our mind, human mind, we judge it. We say, oh, nature is is getting revenge or whatever. But I think nature always tries to find balance, and if we don't judge it, we again can see the incredible intelligence in the system and even learn from it.
I have that session clip about grounding as well, which is very, very fascinating. So let's play that and hear what he said about grounding.
Would you be able to tell us why it's so important to ground from a human perspective?
Because it's one of our major connections. If we are wanting, and again, this is our choice, if humanity is wanting to live a more aligned life, a more heart-connected life, then grounding is a simple process that allows that to take place. It's just as if you needed to drink water during the day. You also need to connect to the earth because our bodies are of the earth. We need that supplement, that connection. Just as we need to breathe, it's the same process. If people do not want to take part on this journey, which again, many do not want to do at this time, then grounding, it just won't come into their awareness.
Do you feel there is side effects to not ground?
Yes. As we discussed a little bit ago, there can be inflammation that occurs in the body because grounding creates, as the word is, grounding, we ground our energy so a circuit can take place. We need to continue the circuit, otherwise things can just stop in our bodies. If we're opening up to source energy, which is constantly, our energy system, our chakras take in energy and output energy, but the body has to do the same thing. And if we don't ground the body, the energy just remains in the body and then becomes stagnant. And this can cause irritation, this can cause inflammation and stuck energy to just build up. And then this can translate into physical energy also. This also happens when people hold on to their emotions, when people hold on too tightly to expectations, when people hold on too tightly with their thoughts that they've created and beliefs. Stagnation is one of the things that can cause a lot of dis-ease and harm, is because we're not letting go and allowing what needs to be, because we're in a state of fear and control. So grounding can really assist in releasing, flowing, moving, clearing, and just being.
Yes, amazing. I totally resonate with the message. I was even thinking, like, the future hospitals will be forests and nature, not beton and artificial light. Many things triggered some incoming messages as I was listening to it. And as he was speaking about this, circuit and everything, and how the energy doesn't flow when we are not in our natural environment, which is connected physically to the earth. What just came to me was, especially now, why are we now talking about this? Why were we guided to talk about it today even more so? Because today, in our current time, as we happening right now, because of the ascension process, because of so much light coming in, so much upgrades are coming in from the galactic core, and we are being upgraded with photonic and light that is, updating our whole system. Now we need even more to connect with nature, to allow for this flow of energy to run through properly, smoothly.
Yeah. What resonated with me is when he said, we're storing all that emotion in our body. It is leading us to disease. It is allowing us to stay stuck in fear. And there's so many people stuck in that fear factor.
Yeah.
Fear is the main thing that's holding us back from fully living our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's building up. And again, Gaia can transmute that for free in the most powerful way, and without needing any mental information input or explanation. It just happens automatically. That's the purpose. And for us in our community, I see this a lot. I see many people who are very much into the metaphysics and the spirituality, and they think they're grounded, but actually they are not grounded at all, And when I started awakening spiritually some years ago, because I come from the stars, because I'm a star seed, one of my first aha moments and to realize who I am, why I'm here, was to remember my galactic heritage. Remember, where is my true family? Why am I here? What is my mission? And all of that. So of course, all my attention being thrown into a completely new world, metaphysics, spirituality, and all that, it instantly, immediately turned out there into the skies, into the heavens, into the galaxy and the universe and all this cosmic brothers and sisters and all that. And so for I found myself, without even knowing it or realizing it, completely ungrounded, like just being thrown into a completely new world, or new reality that opened up into my awareness. And of course it was absolutely amazing and soothing, and it helped me to understand so much about myself. But at the same time, I also kind of glamorized this other reality, which is undoubtedly there.
Mm.
And fascinating, and it's again assisting us in many ways. But still, well, I don't want to get lost with what I want to say. Yes, I just wanted to say I've mentioned it in the previous video, but I think I would like to mention it again here because it fits, and also because not everyone probably is watching all our videos. So I was in that let's say glamorization of space and ETs and all of this amazing stuff, yeah. And then I went to have a past life regression therapy, QHHT.
Your first one?
I think it was my first one, yes. And I had already discovered I'm a starseed and some of my galactic families and blah, blah, blah. And
you see, when you first awaken, you just feel excited about everything and you just want to share everything you learn. It's great when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. So the funny thing is that I went to do the session and I had all these questions that were mainly about my newly discovered connection to ETs. And
be honest, how many questions did you have?
Many, and all of them were like 99%, I think. I don't remember now the list, but it's some years ago. But like, it was all about the stars, so to say, okay, and also complicated concept. This was a session that was so beautiful, so profound, so powerful, and it took me years to come to this understanding. Why? Because I was expecting, of course, the most mind-blowing ET past life.
See, it's expectations, isn't it?
Sure. And and specific, very specific also. It had to be motherships and crystal cities and spaceships and, light beings and all that. You know what I saw? I was a flower.
Mm.
I was a beautiful, tiny,
you're still a flower.
Yellow flower in a field.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't deny it because, it was there. And I was, my conscious mind was resisting it and didn't like it, and there was this like inner fight of why am I seeing this now? That's boring as well, all that stuff. But the practitioner at some point asked, how do you feel? Before that, she was asking me about how it is to be a flower, and all that. But when she asked me, okay, and now how is it connects emotionally, energetically? Just tell me how it feels that now you are a flower. And every time I remember this, my God, I have like multiple showers of energy running through my whole body because I was able to tap into my deep connection to the planet, to Gaia. So I immediately felt my roots expanding out and literally holding the roots of the next plant and the next tree. And I was able to trace down this network and see that they're all holding each other, literally through the roots, being connected.
Wow.
And transferring back and forth information, nutrition, anything they might need. Literally also they transfer information.
Of course they do. Yeah.
And just the support and just the benevolence is just the beauty, the magnificence, that I felt as I'm like being part of a family, no judging, no good or bad, or I agree or I don't agree, or I'm better and you're worse and whatever. Just being in an unconditionally loving just group of expressions of other expressions of consciousness, and that was the first level of
A real connection.
Understanding of what it really, even for a glimpse of for just a glimpse that I was able to feel that, oh my God, just to have a glimpse of that, and then I went deeper within my own, let's say, individuality, as much as you can have as a flower, which you do have indeed. And that's when I felt my own connection to the planet. And then I just burst into tears, my God, like I cried like fountains, like of what? Of relief, of deep, deep, deep knowingness that I am supported, that the mother is there 24/7, giving me everything I need before I even know it.
Yeah.
Holding me. And I think for every living being upon this planet, if you could really feel that for a moment, because we grow up with this sense of lack, of sense of like disconnection from source, from each other. It's it's challenging to be a human being living under the third dimension. It's so much separation. It's so much challenging. Till that moment where I was able to feel, to feel Gaia and her mission and her purpose and her, her existence and our connection. I mean, it was just.
I think you're not the only one though, Hara, because when you have a session, like I can remember when I connected to my spirit guide, I truly connected to him in my session. I was, wow, exactly like that. We are so connected. It doesn't matter if it's a flower or a tree or me connecting to an essence of maybe me, who's now a guide of me, Yeah. And that connection was so deeply felt. And I think anyone who is brave enough to explore and dive into the unknown through a quantum healing session will have great benefit and will walk away with such wisdom and understanding and hopefully have an experience such as yours.
Sure. Yes, of course. I mean, we get support in so many ways. But since we are today focusing our attention on the earth, I wanted to bring this up, and also because it's readily available for us, since we are creatures who walk upon this planet and is always there for us. And it's our most immediate, perhaps, our most immediate support. You don't even have to be spiritual, like we said in the beginning, right? Have you seen, for example, I see, farmers being so much more peaceful without being spiritual, just because they are connected to.
They're grounded. They're more grounded than all of us.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and live in peace in their heart and in their mind. And
You see, when you were talking about your session, in this particular hypnosis session that I'm sharing clips of, I'll put the link of that session in the description. He talked about the trees having an elegance about them. Trees are elegant. And I'm like, wow, I would never have thought the vibrational frequencies of trees are elegant. I thought they were strong and they were, like your guardian, don't mess with me. And he said, no, you have to you feel that energy and you feel like you have to stand tall and big when you're in fear. But if you know who you truly are, and trees know who they truly are and they know their purpose, they stand in elegance. And I thought, wow, that was so beautiful. Makes sense. Well, we shared a lot today.
Hello, I am Thera, also known as Gaia or Earth. I am very pleased to connect with you today. Thank you for giving me the time to bring this message through. I am here not just physically, but I am a part of you, even within your own bodies. We are one. We are connected energetically, emotionally, and physically. Your bodies are extension of my body. Therefore, I would like to remind you that you can always come to me if you need to be energized, to be caressed, to be supported or assisted in any way. My consciousness and energy is vast, and you never were, never are, and never will be a burden in any way. What we are going through as a collective on this planet is as it should be. I know many of you have guilt about how some people are treating my body, but I am learning from you and you are learning from me, and all is well. And we are going through this journey together. I hope you understand what I am trying to convey with this message. I am willingly and happily participating in what is happening without judging. How could I? And this moment in time, many of you know that is filled with upheaval and uncertainty. But if you connect to your heart, which is connected to my heart, you will know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And there's one version of me, like there's always a version of you, your, what you call your higher selves, that has already moved on to the next dimension. And that part of me is ready, is there, and is waiting for you. So like the vessel for today, so as he said, Gaia opening up her arms, this is my invitation to come to that reality, to that realm where is my fifth dimensional expression. And it's already there. And the invitation is for every living being upon this planet to walk upon and enter this door. And I want to thank you for honoring me today and for bringing attention to your fellow human beings about our connection. And I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful message.
I found that very interesting because this is maybe, I don't know if this will resonate with other people, but with me, there was a part of me that needed to hear this, because every time I see abuse of Earth, I have so much pain in my heart.
Mm.
When I see a tree being cut, you know, when I see a forest burning, you know, or trees being cut down to build stuff, or, you know, how much abuse. I mean, I see pictures, you know, with dirty waters and oils.
Well, maybe we can look at it in a way where that session clip I shared, where it says, you know, we're releasing pockets of karma when we see trees being cut down, and it's if we compare ourselves and how we treat other human beings, I don't intend to hurt you. I hurt you because I feel like I'm doing the right thing for me, for my own survival. It doesn't mean I'm hurting you on purpose. And I feel that is possibly why she's saying release the guilt. I know you're not doing it consciously.
You know what brings me now to remember, like when Dolores was saying, now I connect the dots, now I understand why she was saying this. Because I remember Dolores saying, if you want to ascend, if you want to move on to the, you know, to how to say it, to like progress as a human being in your awareness consciousness, you need to forgive, you need to, you know, to forgive. And so maybe it's the same thing, because we also have a relationship with Gaia.
Yeah.
So we also should release the guilt, the shame, and she's forgiving us from her because she's ascending, you know. So that was nice. That was interesting.
You see, we take from Gaia anyway. It doesn't matter if it's picking a fruit. You know, you are consuming. You're taking from her. But with anything we do it with consideration, doing it with intention, do it with a blessing and thanking her. These are all little things we can do.
Yeah.
You can feel guilt by doing something, or you could say thank you for providing.
I love that message. Of course, I didn't know what will come through, but now the more I reflect, the more it made sense. Very beautiful, and also I liked. It was simple, I think, but I think it was, you know, simple. Sometimes the simple things are the most
important.
Important, exactly. And also I love the last part, as he said, that I felt as he was speaking it. I think it was more like a knowing. I was translating, tapping into the field. That there is indeed, the fifth dimension, where everyone wants to go. It's there already.
Well,
And through if we connect to Gaia, there's definitely a gateway to get there.
yeah, I love how you said about, I'm already here in the next dimension. Just come to me. And
Yes.
the thing is, it's the same with us. We create in this next world. We create outside of ourselves. And then we bring ourselves up to meet those things that desire to create and manifest. So yeah, it's like, come on, come up and meet me. Come meet your new self. We're always growing and always moving up, upwards and onwards.
Yes. Wonderful. So would you like to share any last message before we close this video?
This video has been, this whole talk with you, I felt so at ease. And as I'm sitting here, I keep taking deep breaths, like just taking that deep breath and feeling the lungs expand. And it's actually a really nice feeling. So if I were to give you a message, remember to take deep breaths. Deep breaths resets the nervous system, and it gets rid of all the old stagnant air within your lungs as well. So take a couple of deep breaths in and get rid of the old and bring in the new. You're constantly renewing. Yeah, remember that. That's my message.
Thank you so much. Yes, I also, now that I reflect back to how my energy and frequency was since we started, it's incredible. Even just by talking about it, it just brings you so much peace. I hope we were able to transmit some of that into our viewers. And thank you, Priscilla. It was, like always, very nice connecting with you and sharing. And
yeah. Thank you, Hara. Always lovely to connect with you and our beautiful viewers. And please leave a comment below and tell us what you thought about today's amazing grounding video and how you ground as well. We'd love to hear how and what techniques you apply. So thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.